So hi, welcome back to my channel. So in all honesty, I can't believe I'm doing a video on this, but today we'll be discussing Blue Ivy's dress at the Mufasa premiere and the adultification of kids or children. But first, hi, I'm Allicia, i.e. Allicia J, the walking talking baby doll, and hopefully I'm here to give you a good day or a better day. Okay? So I'm just going to start off by showing a video of Blue Ivy in her dress. I'm not sure if I will put reactions from other people in this video, but from me seeing the dress and seeing how she looks, nothing came to mind that was to be criticized. I feel the same way about this child being completely just demolished every single time for doing nothing but being a child. And it's kind of sick to me at this point, and a lot of people need to look into their own psychology. I think the psychology of the black community, both men and women, need some deep evaluation in which we take time to at least consider. This is just appalling, and in order to make this argument, I'm gonna start off with something that I've seen recently in a film. A debutante ball would be at least 4 years. Blue Ivy is 12. Surprisingly, I didn't know that because I thought that I just thought in general she was older way before this. Not because she's wearing a dress like that. But the closest thing I could think of was, let me see about a debutante dress. Can't say dress. All these type of dresses that girls have at about the age of 16. So let's put those on the screen. And while you're looking at these dresses and looking at them on these girls, is anything in your mind sexualizing them as if they were in their 20-something? If so, this is rooted in adultification of young black girls, and it's like they cannot do anything. They are too fast. They must be diplomated and disciplined all the time. They must be close to perfect in relation to, I think, the way that dads treat daughters and mothers treat sons. The mothers put a little bit more nurturing, loving, forgiving a lot of time into their sons, and they scorn their daughters for not being able to do domestic work properly. But she'll let her son get off with dirty dishes and he messed up, and weaponized incompetence, basically. He learns that from an early age. Versus the double standard of this black daughter, she has to stand at the front lines with me. Which, I talked about that the other day. That was just, it was not smart. I don't know why anybody would think bring a 5-year-old or younger than a 5-year-old to the front lines of a riot. It's something not healthy here. But anyways, something needs to be evaluated with this, because young girls are always supposed to be the strongest. For whatever reason, you're supposed to be the strongest. You're supposed to take demeaning conversations and critique, such as Blue Ivy is going under. You're supposed to be able to handle it. You're supposed to be able to handle the responsibility. Handle people saying you can't dance as if you're supposed to be an expert dancer. People saying your hair is too nappy. Let's be honest, that's the language that they want to use. And you're just a kid playing, like any other child would, in your freedom. And your mom and your parents wanted you to have the childhood where you can not focus on these things. And now that she is getting up there in age, I honestly feel like Beyonce and Jayz brought their kid out a lot more now because of conversations dealing with their reputation. And Blue Ivy is there to take the public off of their past and their troubles. Is why I think they showcase her at times, because they're going through something with their marriage. But we don't know Blue Ivy's personality and the things that she inspires to be. We could say these things about a lot of Disney stars and all this stuff. What we should be concerned about is the protection of children from demonic, nasty, filthy, disgusting men who would look at a girl wearing this type of dress and want to do such horrendous and monstrous things that her father is being accused of at this moment. That's what should be the focus, but it's never the male. And that's a lot of what you call that is massage noir, I believe. Or no, I'm sorry. What you call that is internalized misogyny. And basically it's just, let me look up the definition, is when sexist behaviors and attitudes are enacted by women towards other women and girls. This is often due to acceptance of the belief that their own gender is inferior to men. Living in a sexist society and frequently observing behaviors that demean women can lead to women and girls eventually internalizing misogynistic beliefs. Internalized misogyny can be expressed in various ways, from mistrust of women to gender discrimination to the perpetuation of harmful sexist stereotypes. And these stereotypes, such as a minor, a 12-year-old, because she wore a little bit of shade on the lip tint, and most of them are right now because the lip tint is in. Her face looks very clean. She's not wearing that much makeup, to me, to be honest with you. And it could be heavier than that. It might be a little heavy. It appears that way, but it could be way heavier than that. Her hair is nice and soft. She looks like the belle of the ball. And people who never had that experience, that are in classes where they never get to live this experience, may also feel like some type of jealousy. And I think that's where this comes from as well. Are you jealous of a 12-year-old because you never lived that experience of being feminine, of being soft? Maybe the restriction of, maybe it's so many of these coaches and femininity content, and to be honest, some of the content that I make, maybe it's so much of that type of content and beauty content really became popular in the mid 2000s, right? Is because a lot of women have weaponized femininity of their daughters in the black community, meaning restrict you from access to any type of feminine products at times, any type of beauty products, beauty routines and rituals. It's all about feeling yourself and trying to be too fast, and it's always about making sure that the men are not aware of your puberty or pubescence. And it's fucking sick because your body is doing these things that you cannot control. People are talking about her chest, which, if she's 12, to be honest with you, I don't even know why that's in your mind, but with the outfit, with the garment and the way that it's shaped, it's couture to her body. And again, going back with class systems and stuff like this, you can't even see child's cleavage or whatever y'all talking about. She's 12 years old. The word cleavage shouldn't even be used yet, but it lets me know some things about the public. But going back to the class system, and I'll leave it at this. Due to her family being a part of the upper class and the upper echelon, things like this, parties, events, her having a career at 12 years old, is not going to be like your life at 12 years old. There's people who are posting, this is what I used to be this is what I used to like when I was 12. Do you also know what time we're in? The digital era. We're not in the everybody was playing outside in dirt, and in my generation we were making mud pies, calling them different stuff. That's not the type time that we're on. If I showed you what I looked like at 12 when I went to, was it a winter formal, something like that? If I showed you my outfit, it was also like that bouffante chiffon type of thing. It was shorter. I think I had some type of bolero thing on that I wore just in general to school all the time, and it just went because it was a formal type of thing to put on your shoulders anyways. And then it was the color green and black. I had heels. I think my hair was relaxed at the time, and I had a little flower thing in my hair or whatever, and it was definitely not what Blue Ivy was wearing. But if my mom was Beyonce, I'm pretty sure my mom would have let me have what I wanted. And if I have access to those type of resources, my mom would say, well, what do you think you like? What do you want to do? And because this kid has access to different conversations, diversity, probably going to a private school, right? I'm gonna take a guess that she is very educated and knows what she wants or has a good idea at the age of 12. And based on her thoughts, her feelings, and her opinions, and her parents approving of what she's wearing, that's all that should fucking matter, by the way. But the fact that she knows what she wants to look like, and it's appropriate, it's polished, that's all that she can go and look into reference of other outfits and gowns and say, I want something like this. And stylists, she has hairstylists, she has probably people to do her makeup artistry. She has a whole glam team at 12. We never had access to that due to the times that we're in. When these kids look up stuff, it's to be super perfect. And I think that that's another discussion that we can have on top of this. You guys wanted this child to be perfect from the fucking age 2 or 3. Do you realize how ridiculous that is, and the level of pressure that's on not only her but her parents to portray to the public that they are doing right by her? And you don't do this with little boys. I'm gonna keep saying that. Keep it a buck. You do not do this with little boys. They can do whatever. So the critique and the animosity and the attack on young girls, all that needs to be projected and evaluated, or somebody needs to talk to you in therapy about it. I don't know, the jealousy amongst younger children, or I don't know what's going on here. But the issues that keep circulating in the black community amongst girls and women, a lot of it seems to be from this type of situations. Policing, controlling, very toxic. And if it's not that, in this worst case, it's what is it called? Emotional incest. I think black girls are 10 times likely to go through emotional incest or go through something like, let me look it up before I say it, just make sure I'm saying it right. It's called paternalistic Paternalistic intervention is when an adult interferes with a child's choices or behaviors for the child's own good. No, that's not the word I'm looking for, actually. I guess it's just called the parentification of children as well. Black little girls, I think, out of all races, are probably 20 times more likely to go through fucking parentification and adultification, meaning you can't just be a child. You can't. It's not even acceptable. It's not acceptable behavior. You have to be 10 times as guarded, 10 times as watched over. And it's not, some people could say that it's out of love and protection, but it's really not. It's just out of a sense of control, a sense of maybe inferiority another person has. It's a sense of poverty mindset. It's a sense of, let me see. Seen as angry, aggressive, hypersexualized, more likely to be punished. And that's another part of it. That's the double-sided thing, is when it's a black male. I would hope that Breonna Taylor meant something more to folks, and it has made some type of progression ever since then, I noticed. But black men and black boys aren't the only ones that deal with microaggression, racism. Not the only ones, right? You guys do know that, because I feel like you don't. Like, black boys are not the only ones who deal with the black experience in this world. But black girls are supposed to be, I think girls in general are just supposed to be overly responsible, overly precise, overly perfect. And then a lot of us grow up fucked up when we realize the dream is fake and none of that mattered. Hopefully we grow out of that, but nobody told you. And because apparently you're supposed to figure it out yourself. You don't need extra nourishment. You don't need extra attending to. Why is nobody asking about is Blue Ivy getting scholarships? Is she gonna do a Fulbright? Oh, is she too old to do a Fulbright scholarship? Why is nobody making Blue Ivy go viral for being in the movie? And I noticed the way that they dressed this child, they try to make her as polished as possible, so none of you get offended, but somehow you still are. And that lets me know you're just finding something to talk about in your own miserable life. And it's okay to acknowledge that, because if you acknowledge that, maybe you could actually improve in your own life. I'm hoping some of these people don't have children, is what I'm hoping. Because if I saw my daughter like that, I would be proud. I would be happy. That's the only thing. I'd be proud and happy for her. And I'm very curious as to if this was a clear person. What would y'all say then? What would you say then? If it was, what's her name? Savannah Barker? Who's been Savannah Barker. I think that's her name. Alabama Barker. In which Alabama Barker just turned 18. And she's already had y'all making makeup looks inspired by her. Which her makeup is very much over 18. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But Savannah Barker, it's like this, oh, it's blurry, oh, I don't know. Like, I see some people saying, oh, it's controversial. And then I see some people being like, I'm gonna make this makeup look of Savannah Barker. So I'm asking a question, a very deep question right now. What is it about Blue Ivy that y'all fucking hate? And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll catch you on the next one.